What's up YouTube, Angry Raticate here. Today we're recording from my basement. It's about 11:40 at night. My brother's asleep, so I don't want to be recording in the room right now. He'd probably make him very upset. He's got school tomorrow, you know, college life. We're off for the summer right now, beginning of the summer of Raticate. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are still in high school, if you guys are in college, if you're off working. Let me know. I want to get a general interest of what you guys are doing right now. So we got a nice Monotype team going on here today. We got Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Sandslash, Kyurem-Black, Avalugg, Walrein, and Mamoswine. Kind of a standard Ice Monotype Hail team. I know some alt go without using Hail. I think that's kind of a waste. If you have options like Sandslash in the snow, or even Beartic you can run, you're kind of passing up a big thing that Ice has to offer in one of the only weathers if you're not going to run a Hail on the team. And also, not to mention, Aurora Veil on Ninetales is amazing, having its damage taken from your team. We'll go over everything in a little bit more detail in a minute. Basically what I'll be doing today is going over each individual Pokemon, its role in the team, and then we're going to go over some battles afterwards. I think I have 4 battles saved today. I think I won 3 of them, and I also wanted to show a battle of myself losing. I know, shocker. Show it losing so you can kind of see what it struggles against, what you can use to counter it, and then also obviously to see what it excels against and what it can be kind of used in the Monotype metagame here. So first off, we got Alolan Ninetales here, running an Icy Rock as its item, kind of the only really viable item you can run on it. You can run Light Clay for the Aurora Veil to be up for 8 turns, however Hail won't be up for 8 turns anyway, so unless you're switching it back in, it's not really going to matter. Icy Rock's pretty much definitely the better version here. Abilities, Snow Warning, pretty obvious here. You're not going to be running Snow Cloak as it wouldn't benefit from it, and that's the only ice setter on the team. So moves, we have Blizzard, Moonblast, Hidden Power Fire, and Aurora Veil. Blizzard and Moonblast, pretty common stab moves. You chuck those a lot after setting up your Aurora Veil. Hidden Power Fire for a lot of Steel type teams. That's obviously a type this team is going to struggle against. This is kind of a bait to set in, switch in Ferrothorn. Usually 2 shots with Hidden Power Fire. However, if you can catch him on the switch in, that's great. You'll be able to 2-hit KO him, and then obviously the second turn you go first and just kill him. So that's great. Obviously, you can't switch this in against any Steel types. However, like I said, if you can get a predict switch in against Ninetales, then hey, you're good to go. For its spread, I run more of a special attack and speed for this. I know some people run bulk because you don't want to lose not only your only setter, but also Aurora Veil. Really helps on this team. Really helps keep your walls and Avalugg and Walrein alive, as well as Sandslash, as he, while has decent defense, has really poor typing for tanking. I run special attack though. It really helps you net some pretty important 2-hit KOs. I might leave a link in the description below with some damage calcs I calced out for it, and also some suggestions from just people in the general Monotype metagame. Up next, we got its partner in crime in Sandslash. It's a Alolan form. Obviously, we're running Slush Rush here. I also run Life Orb on it. I know some people run Choice Band. However, then I think it's better to be able to check between more than one move, especially in Monotype. I know people run a lot more choice items because usually you're only fighting one type. However, it's still nice to be able to choose between more than one move because there's obviously a lot of secondary types. So I think the whole, you can run a lot more choice items because it's Monotype, doesn't really hold a lot of weight. For its moveset here, we got Icicle Crash, Iron Head, Earthquake, and Brick Break. You can run Swords Dance, if I'm right. Yeah, you can run Swords Dance. However, I like the extra coverage, and I feel like he doesn't get too many opportunities to set it up. I haven't messed around with the team too much yet. I've only done 15 battles with it or so, and I saved I think 4 that really showcase what it's good against and what it's bad against. And but yeah, I think Swords Dance is another viable option. However, I really don't like running setup sweepers at the moment. I feel like there's so much defensive stuff in the game. Trying to get those things out of the way first to set up is kind of annoying. This team kind of just a setup and go, and I think with Life Orb it does enough damage. For its investment here, I have 252 attack, 252 speed. Like I said, this thing has decent defense. However, I didn't really find that many chances to set up a Swords Dance, and I feel like it does kill enough stuff as it is. It definitely benefits from a Stealth Rock user. However, I don't really have one on the team, so you can run that on Mamoswine. I feel like Mamoswine just fits better as another Life Orb sweeper. So moving on to Kyurem-Black here. I'm running a Choice Specs Kyurem-Black with obviously Teravolt, Draco Meteor, Blizzard, Focus Blast, and Fusion Bolt. Fusion Bolt is just kind of a last move coverage. I wasn't really sure what else I could really run on this. I usually just check Focus Blast if I'm honest. I think I've only really hit Focus Blast and Draco Meteor and maybe Fusion Bolt once. I never hit Blizzard on this thing. This thing's never up in the snow. I usually go into Sandslash, Avalugg, or Walrein in the snow. I never really go into Kyurem when I have the Hail set up. I don't really know why, it's just, I guess, how the battles have flown so far. First investment, run full special attack and speed. Special attack nature, I think at 95, it really can just benefit more from using more special attacks, especially with choice specs. It really helps hammer down those walls. This is more my wall breaker, while Sandslash is more of a sweeper when in the hail, because Sandslash has what? Ends up having 130 base speed. And with this, I don't run speed nature on it either, I run attack nature. So I still feel like there's not that many things I don't need to worry about having over 130 base speed. Alright, so our first wall here, Avalugg. This thing's a beast, man. Let me just tell you straight up. Anything physical, this thing can pretty much wall out unless it's super effective and stabbed. Leftovers, Ice Body. You can run Sturdy. I've actually done battles with both. I did about half with Ice Body, then with Sturdy, then I switched over to Ice Body just to experiment a little bit more with it. I think Sturdy works better. This is just what I had last on it. I think Sturdy works better because usually you're not going to have this thing up in the hail to really be benefiting from the Ice Body. I run Thick Fat on Walrein if I'm right. Yeah, Thick Fat, because he's never up in the hail for that long. Even if it's like for a turn or two, I think it's worth it more to have their other abilities, just in general, because they're only going to benefit from their ability for 2 turns in the hail, if that. Most of the fights, I don't have them up in the hail at all. So for Avalugg, Rapid Spin, Recover, Avalanche, Gyro Ball. Rapid Spin's a must. You need some kind of spinner on this team, because let's face it, Ninetales takes 25, Sandslash takes normal, Kyurem-Black takes 25, Avalugg takes 25, Walrein takes 25. That's a lot of damage taken from Stealth Rocks in general, and obviously this team's not immune to spikes at all. All the people take damage from spikes. Toxic spikes affects everyone except for Sandslash. So this team's pretty weak to entry hazards. I know they're a little less common in Monotype. Some teams usually set up Stealth Rocks. You don't see spikes unless like for Steel type teams or Toxic spikes on Poison type teams and such. So it's pretty important to have Rapid Spin on him. Recover is pretty obvious for just some general staying power. Avalanche hits like a truck, and so does Gyro Ball on a lot of things that this team otherwise can't deal with. A lot of fairy types. Sandslash and this is the only really options to counter them. Investment is full defense. I like to have this thing as my physical wall. Walrein's one of my special walls. You'll see here in a second. Instead of Chesto Berry and Rest, I'll get to that in a second. So Walrein, my set's a Chesto Berry Thick Fat set. Like I said, you don't get that much benefit from Ice Body. Usually only a turn or two. So I think the Thick Fat pays off bigger dividends in the long run. Especially since this team is obviously weak to Fire types, and Fire types are pretty common Monotype team right now. Surf, Ice Beam, Toxic, Rest. Okay, the only thing that's really questionable about this set is its Rest, Chesto Berry. You can run Assault Vest, and then you can't run Toxic, obviously. You can run, let's see here. Problem is you kind of run out of moves to run. You can run like a mix with coverage with a crunch. I think this is better because you don't only have 4 good enough attacking moves. You know what I mean? I'm looking through here. I'm not seeing anything. Usually useless moves, yeah. You kind of have to run a non-Assault Vest set. However, if you do run Assault Vest, it will tank special hits very well. Problem is it usually can't do enough damage back to tanks. You're only really going to be able to take out sweepers, and usually you're going to be worn down. This team doesn't have any wish support, so I really think that Rest Chesto Berry is the way to go. Full investment in special defense and HP. This is my special wall for the team. The team's more obviously offensive based with 4 sweepers and only a core of 2 mons really. And a few other like little minor options like Sandslash can switch into some physical sweepers. Depends on their attacking type moves. But yeah, this thing in Avalugg really kind of carry the team defensively wise. Alright, up last we got Mamoswine Life Orb Snow Cloak set. Snow Cloak, what's his other ability? Oblivious and Thick Fat. They're both other options. I just like the Snow Cloak to try to get the chance. If you can get him in the hail and you can get some misses, that can win you a fight. It's not really something I've ever really tried to do though, so I don't know. Like I said, I used to run a Focus Sash Suicide lead set. However, now I'm running a Life Orb, Icicle Crash, Superpower, Ice Shard, and Earthquake. This is some great, just pure damage numbers right here. As you see in the investment, I'm running Attack, Attack Nature minus Special Attack. This thing hits like a truck. It's a good secondary wall breaking option to cure him, and it has a nice priority move in Ice Shard. You can also run Knockoff, I believe, on him. Check that. Yeah, Knockoff. Just want to make sure I don't want to like lie to you guys. I'm pretty sure you can run Knockoff, but you can. Yeah, his coverage moves are pretty standard. Icicle Crash, Earthquake, great stabs. Ice Shards, nice priority. And Superpower helps against Steel type teams, helps against normal type teams. This team's not really that weak to normal type teams. It's nice to just have, super effective option against a lot of them. And that's kind of the general team setup for this. Some general roles. You want to set up the Ninetales early, get the hail going. Really kind of just demoralizes the opponent, wears them down. Set up Aurora Veil on that. Balance out your walls until you can get a nice opportunity to switch into Sandslash or Kyurem-Black to start sweeping. So now, guys, we're going to start going into some actual fights. I got 4 fights for you guys today, so let's jump into those. Okay, guys, so our first fight here is against a flying Monotype team. I know you're thinking, oh, these are all going to be like good matchups. However, I do have a few fights against bad matchups, and I think like 1 or 2 against like neutral matchups. So you'll see that in a second. So obviously here, Ice type has a pretty big advantage against a flying type team, and as we'll see here, let's see what we started off with here. We start with Alolan Ninetales. That's usually like one of your major leads here. You're usually going to want to set up the Aurora Veil, as I do here. It really helps. It mitigates the damage for so much, and it really gives you a big chance to just start setting up the sweep with Alolan Sandslash. That's usually what you're going to try to do right off the bat. Or you can try to go on one of your walls if you feel like you're in a bad situation. As you can see here, high jump kick. It would have killed the Alolan Ninetales outright if it wasn't for the Aurora Veil. Here I let Ninetales get sacked off, and here I'm able to bring in Sandslash, and he's obviously going to have to switch. He was right into his Mandibuzz, and even that's not going to want to tank the Icicle Crash. That crit really didn't matter too much. I still would have 2-shotted from here. I go for the safe Iron Head here so I don't miss. Or in case he would have switched out, that would have tanked it better. Actually, I don't think he has anything on his team which would have tanked better. I think I was just trying to go for the guaranteed hit. Goes into this Charizard here. Misses the Fire Blast. At this point, I was like, alright, we can just sacrifice this thing off here. We'll go back into Mamoswine here. Mamoswine can take care of a lot of his team. Obviously, without the sun, or without the hail, I wasn't able to utilize Alolan Sandslash anymore. So that's kind of the problem with letting Alolan Ninetales get taken out right away, is if they have some other kind of sun setter or like other weather setter, like a rain team, Alolan Sandslash needs to get his damage off as quick as possible. So without his Slush Rush ability being active, he's kind of useless. As you can see here in the fight going on, I kind of switched on the Avalugg to start countering stuff. Here, Charizard's going to give me some issues. However, he really shouldn't have switched it in. Charizard had a good matchup against a lot of our Pokemon. If he would have let something get sacked off, he could have had a good chance of sweeping through with Charizard. Avalugg here is just going to put work in with that Avalanche right there, and that's going to basically end the fight. Even at he tanks that Stone Edge right there, amazing from Landers. The Avalanche, even at -1, he's going to KO. As you can see, Avalugg here, even though he's a defensive mon, that Avalanche is going to hit super hard against things. Obviously, Landers is like 4 times damage, same as Salamence. However, that doesn't really matter. The matchups are what the matchups are, you know. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. Okay, so here we got pretty much a neutral interaction here. We got Electric versus Ice. Nothing really too major here, so it's kind of fair either way. I think with Mamoswine here, obviously has a really good matchup against a lot of his Pokemon, and it gave me some decent options to switch into Avalugg, or probably not Walrein because it's electric, some decent switches into Avalugg. Obviously got a nice KO against Golem. I don't really know why he stayed in there. I guess he didn't really want to switch anything into a Mamoswine. His Vikavolt probably would have been decent. This Vikavolt, he goes for Iron Defense. I don't know if that's really common or not. I'm not too familiar with some of the Alolan Pokemon yet. I don't think this guy is one of the better battlers I fought. However, he does have some dangerous mons between Tapu Koko. I think he knew he lost at this point. But as you can see here, this is the problem with a lot of Monotype teams. They're usually really weak to one thing. Like as an Electric type team, you should really have something to counter his ground. And obviously he's able to weaken it down. But by the time he has my Mamoswine dead, he's already down to 3 Pokemon left. His Tapu Koko is super weak. I get a free chance to set up Aurora Veil here, unless this Paralyze happens. No, it doesn't. Obviously, he might kill. He might even. I don't think he'll kill now. He gets a crit, which is fine with me. His Tapu Koko goes down. I can go into Alolan Sandslash here and pretty much finish off the deal. Even with that Intimidate, I can go right for the Earthquakes in a 2-shot. If he had Sucker, I don't think he would run Superpower on an Intimidate set. I know that's usually the Toxic Group sets that run Superpower. I know some of the Intimidate sets will run like Thunder Wave, like he had. Maybe like a Volt Switch and then like Thunderbolt and Facade even, I don't know. But obviously as you can see here, Sandslash is kind of able to just finish off the fight. I think some critiques for this guy, he definitely needs to have some kind of ground counter. That's really nice about my Ice type team is that they have a few there's a few types that they should have a neutral matchup against. However, because they have Pokemon like Mamoswine, they can have really good advantages against like let's say Electric type teams here, or I have Steel type moves on Alolan Sandslash, and I have a Steel type move on Avalugg, giving me a decent matchup against like a Fairy type team, which are pretty common. So as you can see here, guys, this team is able to dominate, even though it doesn't necessarily have a great matchup. Okay, so here we have my loss. Obviously, a terrible matchup going up against a Fire type team here against Intentional HIV. I think I leave with Mamoswine, safest bet here. Only Pokemon that's really good, so I kind of want to be careful not to get him killed. Pretty sure I get him killed right away. Oh, he sends his red card, switches in Kyurem-Black. He goes for the Stealth Rock here. I do believe this was during a tournament. I think this was like second or third round, so this wasn't on the ladder. On ladder, I think I'm around high 1300s right now in Monotype. I lost a bunch with my dark type team, kind of messing around with that. I kind of wanted to get a good balance on that, so I was kind of switching between the two teams, which probably wasn't the best of ideas. Pretty sure this Volcarona just sets up and sweeps on me here. Kind of an issue with this team. I don't have any phaser, and if a Pokemon like Volcarona, who's just a good match against all my Pokemon, can get in, there's not much I can really do. I kind of have to just wait for the toxic damage to rack up here and finish it off. But yeah, there's nothing I can do against this thing. And not only is it too fast for my Pokemon, even like Alolan Sandslash in the snow isn't going to outspeed. So I have to go in here to Mamoswine and Ice Shard, and basically sack off my only Pokemon that even has a chance against any of his team. So as you can see here, his team just kind of matches up super well against mine. He plays really well, don't get me wrong. He finds the opportunity to go into Volcarona and set up. But this team obviously has flaws. Ice-type teams are good against a lot of teams, against a lot of types. However, it's really bad against some of the top types. Fire, Steel, Fighting. I would argue top 5 types. And that's the problem with Ice right now. You're going to fight a lot of teams that you're going to lose against, but a lot of the other teams, or other types, you're going to beat simply because you just have the firepower to get through them. You have a great gimmick set in Alolan Ninetales and Sandslash. I shouldn't say gimmick because it works a lot more often. Gimmicks, while they work lower tiers or like in the beginning of tournaments, later on, people know what you're going to do. People have the experience. They've seen it before. They probably have lost to it before. They're like, alright, I've seen what happens here. I know how to counter it. It makes it more of a prediction game, makes it a little harder on them. So I wouldn't say it's a gimmick. It's more of just a well done strategy. However, it does have its flaws, as any strategy in this game does. That's why I like Pokemon. You know, there's no one strategy that will always win. There's always either a chance to crit. Obviously, you don't want to rely on that. There's also other strategies that can beat it, which is one of my favorite things about this. Alright guys, for our final fight here, we got a Psychic type team, another really strong type. However, I do think I'm able to win this one. I think I did this battle a few days ago, so sorry for not remembering everything that happened. So he leads with his Gardevoir. I use my Ninetales here. This guy goes for the trick. I think this was on the ladder. I don't think this was a tournament. I think this fight was actually from before the Fire type fight. So I think I was just messing around on the ladder for a little bit before the tournament. And this guy, I don't know what he was thinking was going to happen here with the Alolan Sandslash, but he doesn't really have that good of an option. I guess his Victini probably should have came in a little bit earlier. I don't really know. I guess he thought I could just switch out of it, but no, he goes for Fire Punch on Jirachi. Thick Battle, Mamoswine comes up big here. Makes me able to tank a lot of hits, gets the kill on Jirachi. Now his only real check to my Sandslash now is Victini, and he goes into that right here. I get the free damage with Ice Shard, and he goes for the Blue Flare, which is unfortunate. I don't really have a ton of stuff for this. Walrein can kind of do a decent job. So when he switches out there, it kind of makes me think that he's Choice Scarf or something, because why wouldn't he just go for the Bolt Strike on his Victini? So I'm kind of just sitting in here with Walrein, just getting some toxic damage off of Meloetta. Not really sure what this thing's going to do. I wasn't sure if it's going to transform or not. He has a lot of trick Pokemon on this team. I think he's just kind of messing around. I don't know. But go for the Blizzard here. Almost take it out. I think the Toxic it will. However, he trucks me with the Hyper Voice. It doesn't take me out. Oh, it will. I didn't see the Toxic damage first. But it's kind of down to only 2 Pokemon left. I think he kind of got caught off guard by the Alolan Ninetales and Sandslash. I kind of pulled it out pretty early. I know a lot of people like to save it for later in the fight. They use up their walls first. That's a common strategy, guys. Using up your walls first to kind of weaken down their team, so you have a good opportunity to switch in your sweeping core and start sweeping through the team, whether they're weakened Pokemon or a certain counter is taken out. That's kind of usually how the fights go. You usually don't want to leave right away with your strategy like that. So it can kind of catch a lot of people off guard or lead right into your offensive strategy. He has a counter Alakazam, which I guess makes sense. That's usually on a Mega Set, though. That's usually not on a regular Alakazam. Although, I guess he kind of thought my Kyurem-Black would have went for the Outrage, or for the, I don't think it gets really good Ice-type physical move, though. That's fight right there. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, in the description below, I'll have the Pastebin for this team. If you guys want to try it out on the ladder, let me know how you guys do with it. Try it out in the tournament. Hopefully, I'll see you with it. See you use it against me in a fight or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Let me know if you guys have any critiques of the team. I'm always open for suggestions. And let me know what you guys want for the next Friday video. I'm thinking about doing Dark Monotype team. Having a few issues with it, getting a good core for it. I think that's kind of the biggest issue with Dark. It's so offensive, in my opinion. If Mega T-Tar was released, I feel a little bit better about it, but Until then, guys, I'll see you around.